Okay, when it comes to health, we like to recruit the experts here on Twin Cities Live, including Dr. Annalisa Swigert.
Yeah, she practices at Southdale OBGYN, and she's here to tackle some of the questions that she says she hears over and over again, which means you probably would be asking these as well. Lovely to have you back.
Do people stop you at parties, and are they like, can I just pull you aside and talk about hormones, like Steve just accosted you in the commercial break?
I just wanted to talk about testosterone, that's all.
I can answer those questions.
Yes, you can. You've got so many questions. Okay, so let's get through some of these because I know a lot of you are going to be thinking the same stuff at home. So here's the first question that people ask Dr. Swigert all the time. Really, what is perimenopause? How do I know if I'm in perimenopause? And do I need my hormones checked? Our viewers love to ask a lot of questions within one.
That's right. So perimenopause has really become this clinical definition of those years when a woman's hormones are fluctuating. So in our 30s, our hormones are at this nice stable level.
Okay.
In our 60s, they're down here. We don't really make any hormones anymore. And in perimenopause, we're getting these surges of estrogen and progesterone and then these valleys. And when we get those fluctuations, women have a lot of symptoms and a lot of changes in their quality of life, and these changes are real.
Oh, boy.
Now, we don't typically recommend checking hormone levels because your body's telling us already what's going on. You can diagnose this with what your body tells you. You know, an estrogen level drawn in the morning might be high, and then, 6 hours later it might be low.
Oh, so tricky to do the testing.
Right, so that number is not going to define where you are, and it's also not going to help us determine what the best treatment is for you.
Okay.
Okay, here's another common question that you get. Will taking hormones make me feel better, and are hormones safe?
Hormones can make women feel better. Not all women, but for a lot of women, that stabilization of those levels can help with things such as sleep disturbances, hot flashes, mood swings, menstrual regularity. So a lot of things that are occurring due to these hormone changes. Hormones are safe for a lot of women, but they're not safe for all women. So it's really important to make sure to have a conversation with your healthcare provider about your medical history. Make sure you're up to date with cancer screenings such as pap smears and your mammogram. And then you can make a decision about whether it's a good choice for you.
You know what I love when you're talking about this, though, is you're saying these symptoms are real. And I feel like there was a time when it was like, you just deal with it. Like, this is kind of like all in your head. And it's got to feel really good to your patients when they come in and they tell you what's going on. And you just validate that for them, right?
It is. A lot of it is a validation. Like, I know I'm not crazy. No, I don't have to just live with this. And understanding a lot of women around you are dealing with it too.
Yeah.
Including me.
Yes.
All right.
We can all relate.
Another question that we've got, which is, what is the weight gain about? This is a question that you must get all the time when it feels like there's weight coming on, despite maybe living a life that shouldn't be packing on pounds.
Yeah. And I feel like when people ask you that question, they're a little bit more like forceful and upset about it than the tone that's
what's up with all this weight gain, doctor?
What is it?
Fix this. Yeah, that is probably the biggest frustration for women that are aging through their 40s and 50s, and that is you may change nothing about your diet, continue to exercise, women start to gain weight, and the distribution of weight changes. Weight tends to gather kind of around the middle here, even if your actual number on the scale isn't changing. And that is a big frustration and not easily fixed with hormones, unfortunately, because it really has to do with our body's insulin. So as we age, both men and women, insulin sensitivity decreases. Our body becomes more resistant to how to handle calories and how to use calories for energy. And that's what contributes to that weight gain.
I think sometimes too, it's just maybe a matter of like accepting a little bit that our bodies are shifting and that that's okay. Yeah?
That is correct, although women don't like to hear that
no one
either.
Likes to hear that.
That's a jagged little pill to swallow. All right, we've got another common question that you get, which is, what can I do other than hormones to feel better and improve my energy?
There are a lot of things that women can do to feel better, and there are the things that make us all feel better at any age. So healthy lifestyle, exercise, doesn't have to be an Orange Theory class, it can be a 20-minute walk every day, right?
Yeah.
Eat healthy foods and try to get a good night's sleep. So it starts with that. There are also other things that are natural supplements that can help. For example, melatonin, which is the hormone our bodies make that regulates sleep. So melatonin supplements could be a way to help with some of those sleep disturbances.
It's so hard to like life if you're not sleeping. I just know this from being awake for like the past 7 years. It's such a challenge. But you like the idea of melatonin. Do you want people to work with a doctor to figure out maybe what would be best for them?
I think trying over-the-counter supplements is a safe thing to do. But I do think if you feel like like those aren't helping, if you've made changes in your lifestyle that aren't helping, talk to your healthcare provider about what good choices are for you. You may also need lab work checked to rule out other things sometimes that can be causing these symptoms. So before we just blame everything on hormones, you know, as a physician, I always want to make sure I've ruled out everything else.
Yeah, that's really good stuff. Well, and I know it's so important to you to have relationships with your patients and to kind of help guide them through all of these different parts of life and pieces of life with just grace and ease. And you do such a great job talking about it. It's really helpful.
Oh, thank
Thanks,
you.
I'll be
Dr.
asking you
Swigert.
my question about testosterone off the air.
Dr.
No
Swigert,
rookie moves out
please,
there.
you're not released yet.
Yeah, stay
Please
there.
stay. Southdale OBGYN has 2 clinic locations. They are in Edina and then another one in Burnsville. And we have a link on our website to more information on making an appointment with one of their practitioners. They have a whole bunch of amazing people there. And there's also a link to more perimenopause and menopause resources as well.